All right, this video was born out of me watching some Texans defensive film from 2022. I know that they've, obviously drafted Will Anderson, acquired some other talent, Denzel Perryman, etc. But I wanted to look at some of the players that are still around, and as a Ravens content creator, kind of familiarize myself with some of those guys' abilities. And first of all, like man, Jerry Hughes is just a baller for being an older guy, excuse me, and looked at as an older defensive end. The guy can still play. But I want to talk about these two plays from the Texans' Week 15 loss to the Chiefs, and it was a tough game. I mean, they gave the Chiefs a battle. I think it was 30-24, I believe, in overtime. So I want to talk about these two plays in succession. These are two plays from the third drive where the Chiefs scored. And just so you know, the Chiefs had difficulty on the first two drives. I think the first drive was a longer drive, but they still had to punt near midfield. And the second drive was one first down, and then they had to punt again. So you've got these two plays in succession leading to this touchdown to Jerick McKinnon into the boundary. A quite common play for Andy Reid and the Chiefs, but also something that is used, by multiple teams in the NFL and high-level college football. Running back releasing from the field into the boundary, away from the nickel defender, and sliding into some open areas. So I'm just going to recap a little bit here real quick. This is the first drive. Now, you guys don't see this, but off screen, up top here, I have the data for this play. So it's a 3rd and 5 from the first possession. And the Chiefs are in trips, and they run like a slot fade against man free. And I think the guy's open. I forget his name. He's now with the Jets, I believe. And he beat the DB quite badly, and unfortunately, for the Chiefs, Mahomes and him are unable to hook up. So a punt on the first possession, like I said, from near midfield. All right, against man free. Second possession, six plays, I think, and this is a 3rd and 14. There was a sack. A split sack on the second play, and you can see they've got a spy against Mahomes. And again, I think you've got man free. It's a spy. When I say a spy, there's going to be a 3-man rush, and then a fourth potential rusher is lagging back. I think he's also trying to clear a path for a stunt on the left side. He's just trying to occupy the center, in my opinion. But in any case, I think he's assigned to spy. I don't think he's really just getting his ass whipped this much that he's not able to move downfield. I think that's by design. And so against man free, empty. I think the Chiefs went empty because the last time there was 3rd down, the Texans had gone man free, and there was a lot of criticism from Texans fans and other people about, the defense that Lovie Smith ran last year and being so zone dependent. So 3rd possession, Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, they're not together anymore, but those two and Patrick Mahomes just, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do justice to how well coordinated I think this third drive was. So early in that drive, the Chiefs go bunch under center. So you can see the quarterback and the running back are both on the midline. I call it ace. And they're going to run like a stretch pin pull to the boundary. And or it's just a regular zone and the running back ends up bouncing it. So they go bunch and they run back into the boundary. Cool little scheme here. They down and then they pull with the center. The center is supposed to go out and try to get up to this D end. Well, they didn't know the D end was going to slam B, and they release the tackle outside. Running back ends up bouncing it. So, maybe if you don't want to call it stretch, if you just want to call it zone, in any case, it ends up bouncing. It ends up being an outside run play into the boundary, 12 or 13-yard gain. I think first play of that drive. Very next play, again, bunch. And if you check out how Mahomes opens, and there's a lot of stuff to read, but Mahomes is opening to the play. He's opening to the flow of the running back. Versus on the last play, Mahomes still open in that manner, but he reverse pivoted back, and the run play came back into the boundary. I want to talk about that a little bit when I get to the last two plays, so that's why I'm kind of setting it up. I think it's a split zone play. Pacheco hits front side like 18 or 20 yards, huge gain, maybe even a little bit more than that, out of the same formation, bunch left to be precise. Again, you're talking third possession. Texans defense had played quite well to this point. Chiefs found that Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy found a formation that was working for them, and they go right back to it. Once the field is flipped to start the second quarter, I think this is 4 plays later. You got a reverse pivot by Mahomes, and the motion coming to the field from the bunch, I think it's Sky Moore. So the motion coming to the field, and if you remember, from the same play. Now, granted, it's a mirror image that we're going in the other direction. You had that motion, and then the H-back tight end coming down here, split zone. So the running back could, theoretically hit it front side, which he did. Again, we're talking about a mirror image of the last play, or potentially cut it back behind that kick-out block from the H-back / tight end, which I don't believe is Travis Kelce on this play. I'll run it slow, though, so you can see Mahomes open like a reverse pivot, kind of like I just described, turning his back to the defense. It's not a fantastic play fake. It's not his best play fake, but it's quick by design, because I think the design of this is he wants the defense to see that he still has the ball. Oh, it's play action. That's what he wants them to think. And then it's a screen back to the tight end. I mean, it's kind of evil if you ask me, but the element that I want to mention, the conceptual element, is the motion, then also the run action to that side, and the running back, leaking out late, presumably. And then the screen back against the flow of the motion and against the flow of the running back. We'll run it back a couple more times. Maybe I'm not able to describe the elements in the best manner, but what I'm trying to point out is you have motion and flow. It both ends up to one side. And then Mahomes is bringing this back against the grain of that motion into the, well, I guess the ball is kind of still in between the hash. And then look, you've got two linemen already out here ready to deal with this inside linebacker. I also love that they're not using one of their prime weapons. I don't mean to be, disrespectful towards number 83, the tight end for the Chiefs. I don't even know his name, to be honest with you, but they're not utilizing one of their prime weapons to get this accomplished. Tyreek Hill obviously isn't on the team, but they're not using Juju, who's lined up top as the Z on the line. And they're not using Travis Kelce at all. In fact, he's not on the field. They're using misdirection, in my opinion, with motion and flow of the running back. And I think a part of that, the reason why I mentioned it initially a couple of minutes ago, I hope it's not too stuttery when I rewind like that. But I think it's important, the turn of the quarterback. We always, in some cases we would teach our kids about the quarterback's back and the quarterback's chest. There's a lot to say about that in particular offenses, but kind of a cheat code that I just talked about there. But reverse pivot and then an intentional fake to let the defense see the ball, to see that it's play action. Because sometimes you get guys, I came downhill, it's play action, and we would teach this wrong read. Let me turn my back and get out to my pass drop. Now, they don't necessarily do that here, but I'm talking about the design of the play. Why does it look like a less than stellar play fake? I think that's intentional. Hopefully, I was able to explain that in a manner. I think it's designed to look like a less than a complete play fake, where Mahomes shows the defense the ball quick after a very short play fake. Okay, now the last play of the drive, I think, is the very next play. 20-yard touchdown to Jerick McKinnon. Again, now let's talk about the guy in motion, the running back, and the tight end. On the previous play, the running back was back here. He went out into the flats. Okay, Sky Moore was to the right. He motioned here. Two of the three guys between the running back, the guy in motion, and the tight end ended up away from the intention of the play on the previous play. Check this out. You got the motion guy. You got the tight end, both flowing down to the other side. Jerick McKinnon going opposite. I think it's beautiful usage of personnel. If you think conceptually about the three players, motion man, running back, tight end, two of them are going to end up down here, and a third one, the tight end, is going to get the screen to the right side of the formation. I mistakenly called it the boundary earlier. Clearly the ball was in the middle of the field. Go back to this touchdown play. Motion man, Kadarius Toney. Tight end, I think, goes and sits like right around in here to the hash. And then watch McKinnon on this one. Slight little play fake. Again, it's intentionally a quick play fake and to allow the defense to see the football. Tight end goes and checks up on the hash. Toney is occupying someone out here into the flats. Away from the nickel defender, McKinnon is wide open. Now, I think the inside linebacker over there to that side is is struggling too, but there's a built-in option no matter what he does. So I'm talking about this inside linebacker here. We'll go slow motion. He sees the tight end in, the Y cross his face, cross the formation, right to left for the offense, left to right for the defense. So he starts flowing in that direction, and he actually, I think, even points something out to the other inside backer. You can see he's followed this guy way too far, and the running back is able to slip out into the flats. There's no nickel defender over here to help protect this inside linebacker, so it's an easy pass for Mahomes. Additionally, however, let's say this linebacker his helmet was to be over here and expand with Jerick McKinnon into the right side of the Chiefs formation, left side of the defense. Watch the route by Kelce. And then this route. It's a clear out route up there. It's built in for Mahomes to have the option to the running back to the right. Or if this linebacker wasn't in this window, if he had covered the running back, I mean, Kelce's going to be wide open over there. Essentially a flood concept, if you ask me. Perfect use of your personnel. You have a guy in Travis Kelce running across the formation, and then you have Jerick McKinnon out into the right side. If, let's say that this guy was to occupy with Kelce, and this guy was to occupy with the running back, this tight end is intentionally sitting over on the other hash to hold a defender, which I think is Christian Harris. So there's actually no nickel on the field. So, I kept talking about the nickel. It sounds like a base 4-3 here, to be honest with you. So I think you've got one or two, and then possibly three here with, just a dummy clear out route depending on coverage, and then motion to, again, I think just pull the defense's eyes away from the intention of the play. Look, does every NFL team and coordinator try to do these things? Yes, they do. I think Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy and Patrick Mahomes too, you got to give him credit. I don't watch the quarterback show, but it sounds like he comes across really complimentary, or the show is really complimentary of him, and that doesn't surprise me. The guy seems super smart. I got news for you. Pretty much everybody that plays NFL quarterback is super smart, at least about football, all right? I just love the concept, and I don't mean the play name, what people call it, that you have three players, running back, tight end, and a guy in motion, two of them going opposite of the intention of the play. In this case, the tight end and the motion man going opposite the intention of the flow, and the running back ends up being wide open. Is it possible that the running back could have been better covered? Yes, and I think we'd be talking about a touchdown to Travis Kelce here, or that's what I'd be talking about. I love trying to understand why teams call certain plays. I don't pretend that today I've explained to you all of the elements of the play, but this one is one of the more fun ones that I saw, and I certainly thought the Texans defense played well for stretches in this game and competed with the Chiefs, the eventual Super Bowl champion. I think there's a lot to be said about the Chiefs offense in 2022, letting Tyreek Hill, go to the Miami Dolphins, trade, and then utilizing some lesser talented receivers and the scheme and Patrick Mahomes' brilliance of understanding. I think there's levels to everything that you try to execute in life, and Mahomes' play fakes, I think at times are designed to intentionally show the football to the defense so that they think, oh, this is play action. And then there's a third element, which is, basically I think we're talking about a Y screen on the next to last play I showed you. And then this last one, just a running back releasing out into the flats. There's no lead blocker out there. Conceptually, I think these are very similar plays. And I think that the Chiefs on their play call sheet have concepts packaged together. Not all my screens, not all my RPOs. I think they have conceptual plays next to each other on their play call sheet that are not the same play type. So like that screen to the tight end and this release out by the running back out into the flats, the right flats, are not the same play type. They're not both screens, but conceptually I think they're similar. And I'm not sure that every NFL offensive coordinator is doing the things that Eric Bieniemy Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes were doing like that. I can't prove any of that, but that's just a theory that I have. Guys, feel free to let me know what you think of these plays and the way I broke them down in the comment section. And if you think other NFL fans, whether you're Chiefs fans, Texans fans, whatever, would enjoy this content, please consider grabbing a link to it and sharing it out on social media to help this video get more reach.